Have you ever stood on the edge of a dream, staring into the unknown, wondering if you're truly capable of achieving something greater than yourself? We all have. That silent voice of doubt, so subtle yet persistent, whispers, "What if you fail?" But there's another voice, quieter yet more powerful, waiting to rise inside you. It's the voice that says, "Believe you can do it." This voice is your inner warrior, your truest self, calling you to rise beyond fear, beyond hesitation, and take a chance on the greatness within. Life isn't just about existing. It's about chasing something meaningful. From the moment we wake up to the time we close our eyes at night, we are faced with opportunities to grow, to stretch, and to conquer the barriers of self-doubt. But before we can do any of that, there's one step we must take: belief. Belief is the foundation of every achievement, every victory, and every breakthrough. It's not arrogance. It's not false confidence. It's the unshakable faith in your potential, even when no one else sees it. Think about the greatest minds, athletes, and leaders of all time. Before they were known, they were just like you and me, ordinary people with extraordinary dreams. But what separated them was their belief. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school varsity basketball team at first. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection from publishers. But they kept going. Why? Because they believed. And that belief changed everything. In this video, we're going to journey through 6 powerful stories and lessons that will help you realize that belief isn't just wishful thinking. It's a decision, a mindset, and a weapon. You'll hear how others turned their self-doubt into success, how failure became their fuel, and how they kept going when everything around them said, "You can't." Through each part, you'll find a mirror to your own journey, because this video isn't just about someone else's story. It's about yours. So wherever you are right now, sitting in a room feeling stuck, scrolling through videos for a spark of hope, or chasing a dream that seems too far away, this is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. You have something powerful inside you, waiting to be awakened. And all it takes to start is belief. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You just need to believe you can do it. Part 1. The power of the first step. Every great journey starts with a single step. But for many people, that first step is the hardest, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they hesitate. That hesitation often stems from fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of judgment, or fear of failure. But the truth is, no one ever begins perfectly. The greatest victories often come from the most uncertain beginnings. Take the story of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She had no background in fashion, no connections in the industry, and only $5,000 in savings. But she had an idea, and more importantly, she believed in it. She went door to door, faced rejection after rejection, and even wrote her own patent because she couldn't afford a lawyer. The odds were stacked against her, but she took that first step, and it changed her life forever. The first step is about courage, not confidence. Confidence comes later, after you've walked a few steps, stumbled, gotten back up, and realized you're stronger than you thought. But you'll never reach that place if you don't start. Don't wait for the fear to disappear. Act despite it. The moment you take that step, you send a message to your mind, your body, and your future. I believe in myself. Part 2. When failure becomes your fuel. There's a moment in every journey where things don't go as planned. You gave it everything, but you still fell short. The results didn't match the effort. The world says, you failed. And in that instant, self-doubt creeps in. The question echoes in your mind. Am I really cut out for this? But what if failure wasn't the end of the road? What if instead it was the fuel that pushes you further? Let's talk about someone who turned failure into a stepping stone, Thomas Edison. Most of us know him as the inventor of the light bulb, but what many forget is that it took Edison over 1,000 failed attempts to get it right. 1,000 times he tried. 1,000 times he didn't get the results he wanted. But did he quit? When a reporter once asked him how it felt to fail so many times, Edison calmly replied, "I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that won't work." That mindset, the belief that failure is a teacher, not a tombstone, is what separates those who achieve from those who give up. Failure hurts. It bruises the ego. It can make you question everything. But it's also a mirror. It shows you what doesn't work, what needs to improve, and more importantly, how much you want it. Because if you're not willing to fail for your dream, are you really willing to fight for it? Consider this. Failure isn't just a possibility on the path to success. It's a requirement. Every person who has ever succeeded has faced it. The difference is, they didn't let it define them. They used it. They turned it into fire. Think of every fall as a lesson in disguise. Think of every rejection as a redirect. When you fall down, you don't stay there. You get up stronger, smarter, and more determined. There's a powerful story of a young man named Eric who dreamed of becoming a professional athlete. He trained every day, pushed his limits, and gave everything he had. But when tryout day came, he didn't make the team. Devastated, he almost gave up. Almost. But instead, he took that failure and doubled his effort. He studied the game, found his weaknesses, trained harder than ever before, and a year later, not only made the team, he became captain. That failure didn't break him, it built him. The truth is, failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're growing. It means you're in the game. People who never fail are usually the ones who never try. Don't envy them. You're doing the harder thing. You're choosing growth over comfort, action over fear. So the next time you fail, and yes, there will be a next time, don't let it stop you. Let it sharpen you. Let it teach you. Let it burn in your chest like fire and remind you that you are not done yet. Every time you get knocked down, you rise stronger. Every setback is setting you up for a greater comeback. Believe you can do it, not because you'll never fail, but because you will, and you'll rise anyway. Part 3. Your mind is the battlefield. Before the world ever tries to stop you, your mind will. That's where the real battle begins. You might have the talent, the passion, and even the opportunity. But if your mindset isn't right, nothing else will matter. Doubt will whisper lies. Fear will try to paralyze you, and past experiences may haunt you with reminders of times you fell short. But here's the truth. You can either be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. The choice begins in your thoughts. There's a famous quote by Henry Ford that says, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." That isn't just a clever line, it's a reality. The thoughts you allow in your mind shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. Every decision, every risk, every challenge you take on starts in your head with a belief that says, "I can do this." Let's look at a real example. Jim Carrey. Before he became one of the most successful comedians and actors in the world, he was living in a van with his family. They were broke, homeless, and struggling to survive. But Jim had a dream. More importantly, he had belief. He visualized himself succeeding. He would drive up to a place overlooking Hollywood and imagine directors wanting to work with him. He even wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and dated it for 5 years in the future. Almost exactly 5 years later, he received a movie deal worth $10 million for the film Dumb and Dumber. His success started long before the cameras rolled. It began in his mind. Your thoughts can either limit you or liberate you. And while you can't always control what pops into your head, you can control what stays there. The key is awareness. Start paying attention to the thoughts you repeat. Are you constantly telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll probably fail"? If so, it's time to change the script. Replace "I can't" with "I will figure it out." Replace "What if I fail" with "What if I succeed beyond anything I imagined?" One powerful practice is affirmations. Positive, intentional statements you say out loud to rewire your mind. They might feel strange at first, especially if you're not used to talking to yourself in a kind way. But they work. When you say things like, "I am capable," "I am worthy of success," or "I will overcome this," you're planting seeds in your subconscious. And over time, those seeds grow into belief. Remember, your mind believes what you tell it most consistently. So tell it something worth believing. Another part of winning the mental battle is surrounding yourself with voices that uplift you. This doesn't just mean people, though that's important. It also means the content you consume. Fill your environment with motivation. Read books that inspire you. Watch stories of people who've overcome. Listen to music or podcasts that fuel your fire. Protect your mind the way an athlete protects their body. Guard it. Train it. Strengthen it daily. You have no idea what you're capable of until you start controlling the conversation happening in your own head. The most successful people aren't always the smartest or the strongest. They're the ones who win the battle in their mind long before they step onto the field. So, if you're waiting for someone to tell you that you're enough, let it be you. Stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, "I believe in me." Because once your mind believes it, the world will follow. Part 4. Discipline over motivation. It's easy to feel fired up when you're inspired. When the music hits just right, the speech sends shivers down your spine, or you see someone win against the odds. You feel like you can take on the world. But what happens the next morning when the alarm goes off and you're tired? What happens when no one's watching? When it's cold? When you're discouraged? That's where belief is truly tested. And that's where discipline takes over. We often wait for motivation to strike like lightning. But motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice you make every day, even when you don't feel like it. True belief in yourself shows up not in moments of hype, but in the quiet, unseen hours when you keep going simply because you said you would. Consider the story of David Goggins, a man who transformed his life through extreme discipline. He went from being overweight and depressed to becoming a Navy SEAL, ultra-endurance athlete, and motivational icon. But here's the truth. He didn't enjoy waking up before dawn to run for miles. He didn't always feel like training when his body was screaming for rest. What pushed him wasn't fleeting motivation. It was the discipline he forged through relentless mental toughness. He believed in the man he was becoming, even when the current version of himself wanted to quit. Belief isn't just a mindset, it's a habit. It's waking up and choosing to act in alignment with your goals even when your feelings don't cooperate. It's understanding that every small action, waking up early, practicing your craft, saying no to distractions, is a brick laid in the foundation of your dreams. Think of a writer working on their first novel. The inspiration may spark the idea, but it's the discipline of writing every day, through writer's block, through self-doubt, through criticism, that brings the book to life. Or the athlete who practices the same move 1,000 times so that when the big game comes, they don't have to think, they just do. That consistency, that repetition, builds confidence, and confidence builds belief. You see, belief grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every time you say, "I will do this," and you actually do it, even when it's hard, you reinforce that inner voice that says, "I can." On the flip side, every time you break a promise to yourself, that voice gets weaker. That's why discipline matters. It's not about being perfect, it's about being committed. Discipline is self-respect in action. Even on the worst days, when the world feels heavy and progress seems invisible, those are the days that shape you the most. They don't look glamorous. No one applauds you for showing up when it's hard. But those quiet wins, stacked over time, build a life most people only dream of. If you want to achieve something great, don't rely on the energy of a good day. Build systems, create routines, set standards for yourself, and most importantly, act according to the future you, not the current mood you. The dream version of you, the one who succeeded, wasn't always motivated either, but they were disciplined. So when motivation fades, and it will, let your belief be anchored in your discipline, because belief without action is just a wish, but belief fueled by discipline, that's how dreams become reality. Part 5. Surround yourself with belief. No one climbs a mountain alone. Even the strongest, most determined individuals need others around them who lift them higher. When you're chasing something big, something that tests your limits and pushes you to grow, your environment becomes everything, and that includes the people in it. Believing in yourself is powerful, but surrounding yourself with others who also believe in you, that can be life-changing. Let's take a look at the story of Venus and Serena Williams. Before they were global tennis champions, they were two young girls training in Compton, California. Their father, Richard Williams, saw greatness in them before the world did. He believed in their talent so strongly that he wrote out a 78-page plan for their entire tennis careers before they had even won a match. He coached them on public courts, fought through skepticism and ridicule, and instilled a mindset of belief that helped carry them to the top. Without that unwavering belief from someone in their corner, the journey would have been even harder. Their talent was real, but the belief that surrounded them helped shape their destiny. Who you let into your life affects how far you go. Negative, toxic voices can drain your energy and poison your thoughts. They'll tell you it's too hard, you're not good enough, or be realistic. But those words are not truth. They're fear in disguise. On the other hand, people who uplift you, challenge you, and remind you of who you are even when you forget, that's the kind of energy that fuels progress. If you're serious about believing in yourself, you have to curate your circle. Look around. Who supports your growth? Who cheers for your small wins? Who tells you the truth with love when you're slipping? These are the voices you need. And if you don't have them yet, seek them out. Join communities, read the books of people you admire, watch content that feeds your ambition, listen to podcasts that remind you of your power. It all counts. And here's something just as important. Be that person for someone else. Just like you need belief, someone else needs it from you. Sometimes the best way to strengthen your own faith is by speaking life into others. When you encourage someone else, when you say, "I believe in you," you're not just helping them. You're reinforcing your own mindset. You become part of a chain reaction of belief that uplifts everyone it touches. There's a story about a young musician who played in subway stations for years. Most people passed him by, ignoring his talent. One day, a stranger stopped, listened closely, and said, "You've got something. Don't give up." That single moment of belief, spoken sincerely, stuck with him. Years later, that musician was performing on world stages, and in an interview he said, "I made it because one person believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." Never underestimate the power of voices around you, positive or negative. They become part of your inner dialogue. And when you're trying to do something great, that inner dialogue is everything. So here's the challenge. Protect your peace. Choose your circle. Seek out those who breathe belief, not fear. Build relationships that challenge you to rise, not shrink. And above all, remember, you are worthy of love, support, and belief, not just from others, but from yourself. Keep those belief builders close, because when you stumble, and you will, they'll be the ones reminding you, "Get up. You've got this. You can do it." Part 6. The vision that pulls you forward. Every great achievement begins with a vision, an idea of a life you haven't lived yet, a version of yourself you haven't met yet. That vision becomes your compass, guiding you through the noise, through the chaos, through the days when nothing seems to make sense. It's not about having all the answers right now. It's about seeing something ahead so clearly that you're willing to walk through the storm to reach it. Belief doesn't exist in isolation. It needs a direction, a purpose, a dream to attach itself to. That's where vision comes in. A powerful vision doesn't just inspire you, it pulls you. It gives your belief something to hold on to when everything around you is uncertain. Let me share the story of a man named Walt Disney. Today, his name is associated with magic, dreams, and innovation. But few know how many times he was told no. Walt was fired from a newspaper job because he lacked imagination. His first animation studio went bankrupt. He was rejected by over 300 investors when he tried to fund Disneyland. People thought it was a ridiculous idea. But he had a vision, a place where families could escape into wonder and joy. He believed in it so deeply that rejection didn't stop him. Today, that vision has become a global empire, touching the hearts of millions. Why? Because Walt Disney never let the world's doubt overpower his inner belief. That's the kind of vision you need, not just a goal, but a picture so vivid that it becomes part of who you are. It doesn't have to be grand or famous. Maybe your vision is to create a better life for your family. Maybe it's to build something you've never seen before. Maybe it's to prove to yourself that you are more than your past. Whatever it is, hold on to it tightly. Here's the truth. Vision gives pain a purpose. When you know why you're doing something, you can endure more than you ever thought possible. The late nights, the failures, the setbacks, they become part of the path, not obstacles to it. Your belief stays alive because you've already seen the destination in your heart. You just haven't arrived yet. Visualization is a powerful tool. Olympic athletes use it. Entrepreneurs use it. World leaders use it. They close their eyes and see themselves succeeding, down to the smallest detail. You can do the same. Imagine what your life looks like once you've achieved your dream. Where are you? How do you feel? Who's with you? What impact have you made? Let that image burn into your mind. Revisit it often, because the clearer your vision, the stronger your belief becomes. But don't forget, vision without action is just a fantasy. You must pair that powerful dream with movement. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer. And on the days you feel like giving up, revisit that vision. Remind yourself why you started. Let it pull you through the doubts, the delays, and the discouragement. There will be moments when the world doesn't see what you see. They might call it unrealistic, naive, or even foolish. But remember this, they don't need to see it. You do. That's enough. The world didn't see Walt Disney's vision until he built it. The world won't see yours until you do the same. So dream boldly, believe deeply, and never stop chasing that vision that burns inside you. Because it's not just a picture, it's a promise. And if you believe in it and work for it, that vision will become your reality. The moment you decide to believe, and now we arrive at this moment, the end of this message, but maybe, just maybe, the beginning of something life-changing for you. You've heard the stories. You've felt the truth in them. You've walked through fear, failure, mindset, discipline, relationships, and vision. But none of it matters if you don't make a decision right now. A decision to believe, not tomorrow. Not when life gets easier. Not when you feel more confident, right now. Because here's the truth. Belief isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a choice you make. It's standing in front of the mirror with shaky hands, looking into your own eyes and saying, I may not have it all figured out. I may be scared, but I believe I can do it, and I will. That's where it begins. That's where everything changes. You don't need the perfect plan to start. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need guarantees. All you need is one thing, the courage to believe that your life can be more than it is right now. Let's be honest. Life won't always be fair. It will test you, stretch you, break you at times. But if you can hold on to belief in the middle of the storm, you will rise again. You will grow stronger. And each time you do, you'll believe in yourself just a little more. Because belief is like a muscle. It grows through use, through struggle, through repetition. You have dreams in your heart for a reason. They're not accidents. They're not illusions. They're seeds planted in you for a purpose. But seeds don't grow unless you water them. And belief is that water. Every time you choose to try again, to stand up, to keep going, you're watering that seed. You're giving it a chance to become something real. Think of all the people who are where you want to be. Every one of them once stood where you are now, unsure, scared, full of doubt. But they made the decision. They said yes to the unknown. They believed just long enough to take that next step, and then the next. Until one day, belief became reality. Maybe no one else has told you this, so let me be the one to say it. You are capable. You are enough. You have what it takes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. Willing to believe, to try, to fall, and to rise again. And if no one else is clapping for you right now, clap for yourself. Cheer for yourself. Back yourself. Because you are not alone in this. Every great person who ever lived walked this same path. And now it's your turn. So what will you do? Will you let fear have the final word? Or will you rise, look forward, and say, "This is my time"? Not because someone else said so, but because deep down, you know it's true. You've already made it this far. That means something. That means you're hungry. That means there's a fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished. Let it burn. Let it guide you. Let it remind you every single day that you're not done. You're just getting started. So take that step. Write that first sentence. Start that business. Make that call. Learn that skill. Speak your dream out loud. And when the voice of doubt returns, and it will, answer it with truth. I believe I can do it.